Hey everyone, in honor of our 2-year anniversary, we wanted to make a video where we talk about every anniversary that Disneyland has celebrated since its opening in 1955. Let's start with Disneyland's 10th anniversary, the 10cennial. Disneyland welcomed its first decade with a year-long celebration. It included park-wide decorations, special events throughout the year, and a grand parade called Fantasy on Parade, which was thought of as a show on parade, in which the various floats would occasionally stop along the parade route to perform dances and routines for guests. Also, to represent the park during the year, the role of the Disneyland Ambassador was created by Jack Lindquist, and tour guide Julie Ream was selected as the first. She spent the year traveling throughout the world as the official emissary of Disneyland Park. There was also a special episode of The Wonderful World of Disney, which featured Walt Disney and Julie Ream showing viewers plans for upcoming attractions like It's a Small World, Pirates of the Caribbean, and The Haunted Mansion. Then we could see many Disney characters celebrating with a show in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle, including Disney's newest member, Mary Poppins, and a giant birthday cake with dancing candles singing the anniversary song. Next, Walt Disney described a brief history of the construction of the park, followed by a tour of some of the attractions at the time, including Matterhorn bobsleds, Jungle Cruise, the Flying Saucers, the Mine Train through Nature's Wonderland, and the Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Next comes Disneyland's 20th anniversary, which began a 15-month salute to the United States bicentennial, with the most elaborate parade in the park's history. This parade was called America on Parade, and it featured 50 floats and 150 giant performers that were at least 8 feet tall. Also, an all-new red, white, and blue fireworks spectacular called Fantasy in the Sky debuted. Disneyland welcomed back Christine Vess Watkins and her cousin Michael Schwartner, who, at ages 5 and 7, had been the first guests to enter the gates on July 17, 1955. Disneyland's 25th anniversary was kicked off with a pre-parade show at the Tournament of Roses on New Year's Day in Pasadena. There were many special parades and shows that followed for the rest of the year, but the main event was the television special Kraft Salutes Disneyland's 25th anniversary. This was filmed throughout Disneyland, and it followed the story of a young boy on his first ever trip to the happiest place on Earth. While there, he encounters many interesting characters, all played by Danny Kaye, who tell him various tidbits on the park's history. Musical numbers by Donny Osmond, Michael Jackson, and Danny Kaye, as well as group sing-alongs that include many actual Disneyland cast members and guests. And in April, the Family Reunion Night celebration brought out several famous celebrities, including Michael Jackson, Fred MacMurray, Ernest Borgnine, as well as the Carpenters, Ray Bradbury, and Elliott Gould. On July 17th, the actual 25th anniversary of the park's opening, Disneyland was open for a 25-hour party that lasted from midnight going into July 17 until 1 a.m. July 18. Disneyland's 30th anniversary is probably one of the most talked about anniversary celebrations. The Gift Giver Extraordinaire machine promotion was one of the special things about this anniversary. During that year, every 30th guest coming into the park received a prize when they entered the front gate. Up to and including a new car, selected winners would get to spin the gift giver machine located in the hub. Again, Disneyland stayed open for a full 24-hour special party. The admission price for this special event was $30. During the event, guests received a limited edition lithograph poster of Mickey and Minnie in front of the castle by legendary artist Charles Boyer. The entertainment was amazing, featuring bands like Sister Sledge and a special 4 a.m. Main Street electrical parade down Main Street. Also starting this year, Disneyland began operating 365 days a year. Before this, the park was closed on Mondays and Tuesdays in the off-season. Then, Disneyland celebrated its 35th anniversary with a new parade called Party Gras, which featured New Orleans-style floats, 40-foot tall balloons of Disney characters, and many special performers. Dancers threw beads to the audience along with commemorative 35th anniversary coins, and then brought guests into the street for a conga line before showering them with confetti. Also, it brought us the Dream Machine, which gave some lucky guests the opportunity to win one of many prizes like Walt Disney Home Videos, plush toys, posters, coins, collector pins, or even a new car. Videopolis in Fantasyland changed from a teen dance venue to an outdoor musical theater for stage shows, which featured One Man's Dream, a musical about the achievements of Walt Disney and Dick Tracy, starring in Diamond Double Cross. Disneyland's 40 Years of Adventure came, and with it, Indiana Jones Adventure was opened. Designed through the elaborate effort of George Lucas and Walt Disney Imagineering, Indiana Jones Adventure takes guests on a subterranean archaeological tour through the Temple of the Forbidden Eye with Indiana Jones. On July 17, a time capsule was buried in the Sleeping Beauty capsule forecourt, containing lots of items like cast member name tags, Indiana Jones Adventure Opening Day memorabilia, 1995 Disney dollars, a 1995 Disneyland map, a picture of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse taking last ride on Skyway, and much more. Also, the Dance Club Videopolis was transformed into Fantasyland Theater, featuring the all-new stage shadow The Spirit of Pocahontas, which, by the way, was included inside the time capsule in the form of a laserdisc. That's right, laserdisc. You might wonder, how in the world is anybody going to watch that? Well, they included a laserdisc player inside the capsule too. And the Disneyland Resort expanded to include the Disneyland Hotel's next-door neighbor, the Disneyland Pacific Hotel, later Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel. 5 years later, the year 2000 was here, and Disneyland had to celebrate its 45th anniversary with a dazzling new fireworks spectacular called Believe, There's Magic in the Stars, and the 45 Years of Magic Parade, which featured lots of Disney characters like the Three Little Pigs, Tarzan, Roger Rabbit, Max, and much more. This parade also had some characters and floats from Fantasia 2000. Actually, Michael Eisner wanted the parade's soundtrack to be Pomp and Circumstance by Sir Edward Elgar, just like in the Noah's Ark chapter of Fantasia 2000, because it reminded him of his son Eric's college graduation and he loved it. But Disney Entertainment thought that it might not go over well with guests, and so Pomp and Circumstance was out, and it was replaced by a medley of Disney songs. Also at each performance, 70 lucky park guests were chosen to join the parade. Donning tutus and animal hats, these guest stars provide a bit of comic relief down the entire parade route. On this year, the only original Tomorrowland attraction left from park opening, Autopia, was also reimagined. Combining the old Fantasyland and Tomorrowland attractions, young drivers now cruised along a modern highway through scenic forests and past lakes and ponds. Then, the 50th anniversary came, and it was amazing. The happiest homecoming on Earth kicked off with an amazing event where footage of Walt's original dedication speech was broadcast on large monitors around the resort, and another located in Town Square near where Walt originally stood 50 years earlier to make his historic proclamation. The speech was shown in its entirety, followed by a video montage of historic Disneyland footage. The ceremony also included fireworks and speeches from Julie Andrews, who was the official ambassador for the 50th anniversary celebrations, and Art Linkletter, who celebrated his 93rd birthday that day and had spent his 43rd birthday hosting the originally televised opening day festivities. Guests were presented with golden Mickey Mouse ears at the park's entrance, and lots of characters came to celebrate. Hidden Mickey's got a makeover, as a special anniversary edition scavenger hunt challenged guests to find 50 golden ears. The original attractions that opened with Disneyland had one of their ride vehicles painted gold for the celebration. Sleeping Beauty Castle was beautifully transformed with a 50th anniversary logo and even some crowns. Of course, the celebration also had an all-new fireworks show called Remember, Dreams Come True, and the amazing Walt Disney's Parade of Dreams, featuring one of the largest casts of Disney characters ever assembled. Disneyland. The first 50 magical years attraction opened in the Opera House. There are displays of design artwork and models, ticket books and name tags, a large new scale model of Disneyland as it appeared on opening day, and a 17-minute humorous film look at the 50 years with Steve Martin, who as a young man worked at Disneyland in the Magic Shop, and Donald Duck. Also, this was the first time that other parks joined Disneyland in its celebration. Walt Disney World, Tokyo Disney, and Disneyland Paris joined the celebration by announcing new rides and makeovers, and in the case of Hong Kong Disneyland, a completely new resort. And as a plus, Disneyland was honored with its very own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The most recent and spectacular anniversary celebration was the 60th Diamond Celebration, where both Sleeping Beauty Castle and the Carthay Circle Theater at Disney California Adventure were turned into the most sparkling and gleaming places you ever saw. The whole park was turned into diamonds. Peter Pan's flight and the Matterhorn bobsleds were reimagined with new scenes and effects, and we even got a new herald. More importantly, the Hatbox Ghost returned to the Haunted Mansion after a long vacation. World of Color Celebrate was debuted, and it celebrated Walt Disney and his determination to make his dream of Disneyland the fantastical reality that it is. The show included both animated and live-action footage, fountains, lasers, special effects, and, of course, music. With Neil Patrick Harris and Mickey Mouse as its hosts, this World of Color edition was amazing. Disneyland Forever Fireworks was another incredible show that was created for this anniversary. During the show, video and images were projected on Sleeping Beauty Castle, the buildings along Main Street USA, the Matterhorn, the facade of It's a Small World, and along the rivers of America on the water screens from Fantasmic. And we saved the best for last, Paint the Night Parade, a breathtaking state-of-the-art nighttime parade that combines innovative floats, awe-inspiring costumes and special effects, and more than 1.5 million LED lights illuminating Main Street USA like you never saw before. The parade featured Mickey Mouse front and center painting the night, with a little help from the power of Tinker Bell's pixie dust. Favorite characters from Monsters Inc., Cars, Toy Story, Frozen, and more beloved Disney films were part of the magic. Luckily, this parade will be back very soon in Disneyland. How many of these anniversaries were you able to experience? Tell us in the comments. If you would like to watch all the TV anniversary specials that we talked about in this video and check out all the items that were put into the time capsule, go check out our Facebook group. We'll leave a link in the description. Also, please don't forget to subscribe and share our video.